right, this is your 5C notes since I am not here today, and I think you all pretty much like 5C, compared to other things we've done, especially sequences. 5C is brand new to you, and actually it's my first time teaching it. Previously we taught it as point slope, and we kind of got together and thought there's a better way to do this. So this is what we're going to call function form. So in general, this is the form we're going to refer to as function form. And you're going to use that. You're going to use a point, an ordered pair, and the slope to graph a linear function. So every time you're graphing, you need a point and a slope if you're going to graph a line. This form, like I said, is called function form. Which is kind of a modified point slope form. Just to make a note here, to find the point, you're going to take the opposite of your x1 value. And none of this probably makes sense here, but once we start to do it, it will. So starting with number 1, the number that's outside of your parentheses, that's your slope. So off to the side, we're going to write m equals 1/2. And then you're basically going to be shifting a line that has a slope of 1/2. And these numbers here tell you where to go. We're going to start with this +3, just like a y-intercept. You're going to go up 3. And the number that's with the x, you're going to do the opposite of it side to side. So since this is a -1, you would normally think to the left 1, but we're actually doing the opposite and going to the right. That's what this, to find the point, you must take the opposite of your x1 value. That's what it means. So we are going to go up to 3 and write 1. Put a big point there. That's where we are starting. And then from there, you're going to do your slope. So rise of a run, 1/2, up 1/2, up 1/2. And of course, you can continue the line down and to the left by going down 1, back 2, down 1, back 2. There you go. Connect your points. There will probably be rulers in the back. If I forget to set the rulers out, please ask your sub for them. They're in my back closet.
Teachers, just a heads up, the front steps in the building up to room 203 are now being blocked off because they are getting ready to wax them. Again, the steps heading up to room 203, 201 are now being blocked because they're getting ready to wax them. Thank you.
Also, sometimes you're going to want to write down what the point that you started at. And so it's going to be the opposite of this one, comma, this one. So the point we started at was +1, 3. All right, let's move on to number 2. Looking at it, your slope, it's just a negative sign. So that means your slope is -1. And then the ordered pair where we're going to start, again, you're doing the opposite of +2. So it's going to be -2, 1. So the +2, you would think it goes right, but actually you're shifting to the left 2. So I always do my vertical shift, my up 1 first, and then side to side. And that is the point, -2, 1. And then do your slope. -1 means you're going down 1, over 1, down 1, over 1, straight down the diagonal. And of course you go up 1, back 1. And again, make sure you connect this. This is a line. You're actually connecting all your points from now on. Back when we did sequences or just plotting points, we did not connect them. But if you're graphing a line, you need to make a line. All right, number 3. Number 3, you can tell that your slope is -3/4. So from left to right, you're going to be going downhill, down 3 over 4. And we are starting at the point the opposite of this. So you're actually starting at -4 and down 1. -4, -1. If you want to, you can write your arrows in here. The -1 means you're going down 1, +4 means you're going the opposite way, back 4. Down 1, 2, 3, 4. This is your starting point, and then do your slope. Down 2, 3, over 2, 3, 4. Up 2, 3, back 2, 3, and we go off, but that's okay. Here we go. These shifting rules, you're going to want to just learn them now. These are not going away. We're going to do some stuff at the end of the year where we're graphing all kinds of stuff, and you'll see the exact same rules. In a couple months here, we'll graph parabolas. You're going to use the exact same rules. So just learn them now, learn them, love them, embrace them now. That way you're good at it later. Number 4, your slope is -2. And again, you do the opposite of this. So -3 you'd think left, but you're actually going right 3. -4 outside of the parentheses means you're going down 4. So that would be the point 3, -4. And again, opposite sign, same sign as what the equation is. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. You should make your starting point nice and big so we can see it. Go to grade your papers and then do your slope. Remember, if you have a slope of -2, that's like -2 over 1. So down 2 over 1. Up 2, back 1, 2, back 1. There we are. Number 5. Number 5 does not look like the rest. So if you notice in number 1, 2, 3, and 4, they are all y equals, y equals, y equals. Number 5, we have y minus 3 equals. So in order to get it to look like the others, hopefully you realize we need to get rid of this -3. So when we do that, we would add 3. You would add it to this 3 over here as well. If you do it to one side, you have to do it to the other. So this really becomes y equals slope of 1/5, x minus 2, and then your plus 3's make a plus 6. So you're going to start by going up 6 and right 2. That would put you at the point 2, 6. Right there. And then do your slope, which is 1/5 here. So positive up 1 over 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Back 1 over 2, 3, 4, 5. I think you have 1 or 2 on your homework like that. So just a heads up, watch for those. And number 6. This one is also a little bit different. This time you are missing the number here. So hopefully you realize that what number could we add that doesn't change the value? A 0. So that means you're not going up or down any, but you still have a plus 1 in here, which means you're going to start back 1. So that means your order pair where you start would be -1, 0. Just back 1. Again, make that first point nice and big. That's what I'm checking for when I go to grade your stuff. And then do your slope. Down 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. Up 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. And there we are. All right. Again, this is just a reminder of what we have going on. To find the equation of an oblique line given point and slope, use this form. Oblique is a fancy word for diagonal. So it's not vertical, it's not horizontal, it's someplace in between. X1, Y1 is a point that is on the line, and M, of course, is the slope. So number 7 and 8, these are pretty I think they're nice and easy. Your slope is 4, so that's your m. This is your x1, your y1 that you're going to plug in. So we have y equals m, which is 4, parentheses, x minus 1. Again, this is the opposite. They gave us a positive 1, so we write minus 1. And then this is your y value. It's positive 5, so plus 5. Number 8, exact same idea. Y equals m goes on the outside, 3/4, x, and then the opposite, well, it's 0, so you can put a minus or a plus, or you could just not put anything. And then minus 2 goes on the outside. You should not leave the 0 in the parentheses, so just make it 3/4 x minus 2 as your final answer. So it looks a little bit different because you're not shifting left or right, so you don't actually need the parentheses. All right, page 2 is the exact same thing. I don't think you need to listen to me talk here, but I'll go ahead and write down your answers. We've got number 9. Number 10 is a little bit different. If you have a slope of 0, that's a horizontal line. So you could write down y equals 0 times x minus 8 minus 3. However, 0 times this, that's going to cancel out. So you're simply left with y equals negative 3. Number 11. Do the opposite. And again, you don't really need to write the plus 0. You can kind of pretend he doesn't exist or rewrite it. And y equals 1/3 x minus 2 and then plus 5. All right, now we're just going to do the exact same thing backwards. So you can pick any exact 2 points that are on the line. And sometimes these are a little bit off, but again, as always on a quiz or test, it will be easy to pick your 2 points, or you can always ask. Find the slope. That's where you're just counting, rise over run, between the 2 points, and then write your equation in the form that we've just been talking about. So you put your slope, parentheses, x minus the x value, and then do plus or minus your y value. And when you go to do this, for your x1 and your y1, you can pick any of the 2 points that you use to find the slope or any point on the line. All right, on number 13, our exact points, I'm going to use this one right here. And let's see, this one here. So for those 2 points, I mark them. That's step 1. Step 2, find the slope between them. You've got to go up 1 over 2. So therefore my slope is positive 1/2. And then this is where you can choose a point to use. So if you're using this point here, which is negative 1, 2, it would be y equals 1/2 times x plus 1 plus 2. If you are using this point here, which is the point 1, 3, then you're going to have a slightly different answer. That is going to be y equals still 1/2, because the slope's 1/2, and then x minus 1 plus 3. So you pick the same, or pick the point. Your neighbor might use a different point. It's kind of annoying for me to grade because there's a bunch of different answers, but I'll figure it out. All right, and number 14. Number 14, there's lots of different ones. Because your slope, down 1 over, is negative 1. I'm just going to use the easiest point, which is 0, 0. So I've got y equals my slope times x minus 0 plus 0. That's a lot of zeros that we don't need, so it turns out to just be y equals negative 1x. And again, you could pick a different point, but why bother, you know? Just do it one way. You're good. Number 15. This one is not a very good line. Let's use this point here, which I understand it doesn't look like an exact point, but let's just go with it. And this one. So from point to point, you've got to go up to 3 over 1. So my slope is 3 over 1. And again, pick either point to use. I like positive numbers, so I'm going to use this one right here, which is over 1 up to 1, 2. And if I plug into my formula, y equals the slope, x the opposite, so minus 1, and then your y1 is the same sign. If you, nah, we'll skip it. That's good. Number 16. Let's see. Again, this is not exact, but we're going to go with it. Let's see if we go down 1, over 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to go with 5. So that means my slope is negative 1/5. I don't really like working with the zeros, so I'm going to use this point, which is over 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, up 2. So my order pair is 5, 2. I've got negative 1/5 x minus 5 in parentheses, and then we're up 2, so plus 2. And the last two. Number 17. Looking for some exact points. This is one. And let's go with this one. So my slope is definitely downhill. Negative 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. My slope is negative 3/4. And then you got to pick a point. This 1, 1 looks like a really nice, easy point to use. So I'm going to use x minus 1 plus 1. And number 18, last one. Whoop, whoop. Let's go with this one. Again, it's not exact, but let's pretend. And I think this one's pretty good. So it looks like my slope is definitely negative 2 over 1. You can just put negative 2. You can put over 1 if you'd like. And again, I'm going to use the point 1, 1 because it's just so nice. X minus 1 plus 1. There we go. If you have any questions, feel free to ask the smartest person around you. I'm guessing they understood. If not, hopefully one of the other teachers will stop in and they can help you. And we'll also talk about it lots and lots tomorrow. Have a good day.